Okay, so let's start discussing the questions from grade 10. Grade 10, unit number 5, accounting equation, past paper questions. So this is generally a tested area where for paper 1 you have question and for paper part 2 you have questions. Generally you can see if you go through it, every year from this particular chapter you are getting like 6 to 8 marks. A significant portion of 6 to 8 marks means a significant portion. So having a very good understanding in accounting equation chapter is very, very important. And which is an easy chapter also where you can score marks easily. So as I told you in the previous sessions, Lamai, when I'm discussing the past paper questions, I will not give you an extra time to write and data. When I'm writing, you have to write at that time itself. But before attending the class, you can try and come to the papers. As I'll be sending that you early. No? Minute wise, we'll be doing. If you can't write in the speed that I'm writing, take a screenshot. But don't make it a practice. Better if you can write at that time itself. Okay. So let's move to the 2016 paper 1, question number 70. The influence of following transaction to the accounting equation. Asset has decreased. Liability has decreased. The transaction recorded in the above accounting equation. Purchasing on credit 15,000 stock of goods from Sunimal. People, if you purchase on credit, our stock asset will increase. Stock asset will increase. From other side, trade creditor liability will increase. So this is wrong. Paying 15,000 in cash to PL, who is a creditor. If you pay to a creditor, cash asset will decrease 15,000. From other side, trade creditor liability will decrease 15,000. So that is what you have no. Asset is decreasing cash asset, liability is decreasing PL, creditor liability. So that is the correct answer. The correct answer is the second option. Paying 15,000 rent in cash, then your cash asset will decrease. Rent is an expense. Expense will reduce the equity. So no impact for the equity now here in this question. So that is out. Obtaining 15,000. Obtaining 15,000 by the owner. Owner takes money. Cash asset will decrease. Again, owner's equity only will decrease. Drawings. Drawings will reduce the equity. Expenses will reduce the equity. Drawings will, this is drawings. Owner taking for personal use. If owner takes anything from the business for personal use, drawings. So the correct answer is the second one. Now let's move to the paper 2. Karindu has started a business to sell school equipments. He started it on 1st January 2016. Few transactions occurred on that day are given below. Employing cash to business by Tarindo. That means employing cash means people. Tarindo is investing cash. Another word. Investing. Purchase of furniture 20,000. Paying monthly rent 5,000. Took a bank loan 25,000. Purchase of school equipment 10,000. State how each of the following item use the following format given below to answer. So already they have given the first one, so they're asking us to use this format. So we'll use the same format. 2016 paper 2 part 2 question 5. What is the format? Transaction number is there. Assets equals liability plus equity. They have given liability plus equity, yeah? Not equity plus liability. Liability plus. So already they have given the first transaction. Cash has increased 50,000. Since owner is giving that, owner is giving owner. Karindu, capital has increased by 50,000. It's additional capital. Now let's move to the second one. Purchase of furniture. So furniture. So we are getting 20,000 worth furniture. Our 20,000 cash is going out. Simple. 20,000 worth furniture coming in. 20,000 worth cash is going. 20,000 cash is going out. Third, paying monthly built-in rent 5,000. So our cash is going out when you pay the rent. Cash is decreasing. And you have to understand rent is an expense. Always think two impacts are there. Rent is an expense. Expenses will reduce the equity. Minus 5,000 rent expense. Fourth one. Took a bank loan 25,000. So if you take a bank loan, what you will get? Money. So cash asset is increasing. From other side, you took a bank loan. Bank loan will increase the liability. Bank loan liability will increase by 25,000. Next one. Purchase of school equipment. Understand, people? Karindu's business is selling school equipment. So school equipment is his main stock, main inventory, main good, main item. So purchase school equipment means indirectly what they are telling here, he purchased a stock of 10,000, underline the word on credit basis. So he's getting a stock of 10,000, stock is increasing. But cash is not going out. Cash is not going out. What's happening? He is purchasing this on credit, Nayata. He should pay that. That 10,000 should be paid. Given note should pay. Payable. Payable another name, creditor. Payable another name, creditor. So that payable or creditor liabilities increase. Creditor liabilities increase 10,000. That's it. Halas. And next part, what they are asking, state the value of the following item of current use business as at 1st January 2016. So here, Bharat has started business on 1st January 2016. Few transactions occurred on that day. That day is given for one particular day. So we have to check the complete balances. We have to check the complete balances of the non-current assets, current assets, total liability, and equity. So let's take one by one. Cash, current asset, current asset, current asset, current asset, current asset. Non-current asset, we have only furniture. Non-current asset, we have only furniture. So first one they ask in the non-current asset. Then non-current assets is 20,000. Then we need the current assets. So current assets 50,000 minus 20,000 minus 5,000 plus 25,000 plus 10,000. Then what is the value that we are getting? 50,000 minus plus 25,000. Here we are getting a value of 60,000 current assets. There is another option that we have. Find the current assets from the total assets. If you deduct the non-current assets, you will get the current assets. That's another way. And next part they are asking the total liabilities. So how much is the total liability? I'll use a different color. Bank loan and trade creditor, total liability 35,000. Next one, equity. What is the total equity limit? You get 50,000 minus 5,000, 45,000. Equity 45,000. Done. So with that, we are done with the 2016 paper. We are done with the 2016 paper. Now let's move to the next one. 2007. Following transaction. Following is a transaction occurred in a business. Purchasing a stock of goods 50,000 in cash. Purchasing a stock of goods 50,000 in cash. So let me write asset equals equity plus liability will. So you are purchasing a stock. You are getting a 50,000 worth stock. And from other side, cash is going out 50,000. Is the transaction. They are asking as a result of this transaction, what has happened? Nothing has happened. That's the answer. Because of this transaction, nothing has happened. No impact to the equity. No impact to the liability. Even no impact to the assets also. Understand? Huh? Asset increase 50,000. Again decrease 50,000. Came to the same level. Plus 50,000 minus 50,000. Zero limit. One asset went out, one asset came in. So only asset change wrong, only liability change wrong, only the asset liability change wrong. All assets, liability and equity change. Okay, ideally people, this question is wrong, I would say. They shouldn't ask questions like this. This question is wrong. As a result of this transaction, based on the answers that they have given, we have to go for an option. So option that we can go is this. Only asset has changed. Because only impact is created for asset, asset has increased, asset has increased. So movement has happened only in assets. This question is a utterly completed, utterly wrong question. If any examiner comes and talk to me, I will clearly tell. 100% wrong question. What to do? We have to proceed with an answer. First one is the answer. Next one. Out of the following, select the transaction that does not affect equity. Paying rate in cash. Rate means expense people. Rate is an expense. Expenses will reduce the equity. Expenses will reduce the equity. Out. Receiving 500 additional income. Additional income. Income will increase the equity. We learn a lot. Additional capital drawings. These are the impacts created by the owner. And business also will create impact. Income and expenses. Additional capital will increase the equity. Income will increase the equity. Drawings will decrease the equity. Expense will decrease the equity. These are the 4 items. Out of those 4 items, two impacts are created by the owner. 2 impacts are created by the business. So this is increase in the equity. Out. Paying 5,000 to creditor by the owner from his owner's money. I told you clearly, people, if owner pay any payment of the business from his personal pocket, it is considered as additional capital. Additional capital will increase the equity. Paying 2,000 accrued electricity. Accrued electricity expense means a liability. Yeah? Liability. Make a liability. Not electricity expense. Accrued accrued electricity expense. Accrued electricity expense is a liability. මතක නැත්තම් ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Accrued expenses are liabilities. Accrued income is an asset. Got to remember that. So here when we pay people, our cash asset will decrease and from other side liability will decrease. No impact to the equity. So this is the correct answer. Fourth one, the correct one. Next. A different question. Following shows the balances of asset, liability, and equity of a business as at 1st January 2017. And the transactions that took place during the first week of January were recorded using the accounting equation. So they have given some information. First, what they're asking, writing each of the above transaction with the value. Simple. 1, 3, 4. 1. Cash has increased. Bank loan has increased. Cash වැඩි වෙලා loan වැඩි වෙලා. What has happened? You have taken a loan. Obtain rupees 25,000 bank. Obtain rupees 25,000 bank. Second. Stock has decreased 10,000. Stock decrease means we have not purchased, we have sold. Debtors has increased. That means it has sold, not on cash, on credit. So 10,000 but stock. If you sell it for 15,000 lamai, 5,000 profits. Profits will increase the equity. That's it. Sold rupees 10,000 but stock for rupees 15,000 on credit basis. Credit basis very important. Not on cash basis. On credit. That simple. Cash has decreased, equity has decreased because of the rent. Rent is an expense. Paid rupees 7,000 rent. Fourth one. Cash has decreased, creditor has decreased. Creditor has credit is a liability in a money. Credit is a liability. Pay him. So creditor liability decreased, my money has decreased. What has happened? I have paid to that creditor. Paid rupees 6,000 to the creditor. Paid rupees 6,000 to creditor. That's it. Class. Next. Stating separately increase or decrease of total assets and total equity during the week. So you see, will you be total assets වල change එකයි total equity වල change එකයි අපි. බබා question. How much is that? Plus 25,000 minus 10,000 plus 15,000 minus 7,000 minus 6,000. So what is the final net impact, lamai? 25 minus 10 is 15, 15 plus 15, 30. 30 minus 7 is 23. 23 minus 7, not 7, 23 minus 6 is 17. So asset has increased by 17,000. Asset has increased by 17,000. Next one. You take the equity. Plus 5,000 minus 2,000. So what has happened? Equity has decreased by 2,000. Equity has decreased by 2,000. That's it. With that, we are done with the 2017 paper. Now let's move to the 2018 paper. Select the answer which shows the basic accounting equation. So what is the basic accounting equation that we studied? Asset equals equity plus liability. Asset plus liability. So අපි ගමුකෝ liability අනිත් පැත්තට we'll write all the possible options that we have value. Assets minus liabilities. That is another option. Another option. Asset minus equity is liability. So these are three different options that we can have. No. Let's see. Asset plus liability. No, how? Asset minus liability is equity. That is there. Asset minus liability is equity. That is second one. Next one. Because of paying employee salary of rupees 8,000. Because of paying employee salary of rupees 8,000. Asset decreases by, so people very simple. No? Asset equals equity plus liability. If you pay 8,000, cash is decreasing 8,000. And employee salary is expense. No? Expense will reduce the equity. Employee salary. Salary expense will reduce the equity. So asset decrease in 8,000, equity decrease in 8,000. So asset decreased by 8,000 and equity decreased by 8,000. Yes, that's the answer. Next one, 90. The equity of Kasun's business as at 1st January 2018 was 150,000. While equity last day, so this is the first day of the month, first day of the month, last day of the month, 170. Only transaction occurred during the period that the transaction is. What can be the transaction which has happened during the period? So people, equity has increased. Equity has increased 150, has gone up to 170. Equity has increased by 20,000. Employing means invest in additional capital 170. No, if this happens, equity will increase by 170,000, not 20,000. Out. Obtaining goods 20,000 by the owner for personal use. No, if owner takes items, equity will reduce. If owner takes any item from the business, it is named as drawings. Drawings will reduce the equity. Out. 40,000 worth stock. Selling a stock of goods 40,000 on credit basis, which cost 60,000. Sold for 40,000. So this is the selling price. This is the cost. So 60,000 item, you sold it for 40,000 means you have made a loss. Loss will reduce the here. Selling a stock for this is selling price. Cost, this is the cost. 40,000 worth item, if you sell for 60,000, you made a profit of 20,000. Profit will increase the equity. Equity 20,000 increase because of the fourth one. Done. Okay. Following are some transactions occurred in Samantha's business, which sells electric equipment for the month ended. Indicate how each transaction influenced the accounting equation using the following format. First transaction has been done for you. First one is done. This one is done. Thank you. So we'll do the remaining ones. Purchase electric, here see electric equipment in the stock car because they are selling electric equipment. So purchase stock 50,000 on credit basis. So stock is increasing 50,000. From other side, they purchased it on credit. So creditor liability will increase by 50. Paying 8,000 to creditors. If you pay to creditors, cash will decrease. And we are settling the creditor. I have to reduce the liability. Minus 8,000. Minus 8,000. Next one. Selling a stock of electric equipment for 40,000, which cost 25,000. Cost is 25. Give me a second, people. Hello. 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 Oh, 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 oh. So cost is 80,000. Selling price is 40,000. Then understand. 25,000 but stock is going out. We sold it for 40,000. So we are getting cash 40,000. Understand people. 25,000 worth item, if you sell it for 40,000, you made a profit. Profit will increase the equity. How much profit? You made a profit of 15,000. Next one. Withdrawing 5,000 in cash by Samantha for personal use. I told you. If owner takes anything from the business, drawing. So Bhagat has taken our money. Our money is decreasing 5,000. Drawings will reduce the equity minus 5,000. So when you look at just look at the opening balance, the question is there. What is the total of all the assets? 160 plus 72, 30, 255. Opening total assets 255,000. Opening equity plus liability 255,000. So no bank loan, nothing. So that's why they have given a dash. Okay. That's why they have given a dash. All the assets are equal to equity plus liability. Assets are 255, equity plus liability also 255. When you are starting the period, no bank. During the period only, you have taken a bank. Done. So next, what they're asking, what are the values of following items in Samantha's business? So we'll take one by one all the closing balances. Here 160,000, 50,000, 25,000, 95,000. Cash, how much is there? 25 plus 100, 125. 125 minus 8, 117. 117 plus 40, 157. 157 minus 5, 152,000. Equity 10 to 45,000. Bank loan 100,000. Creditor 70 minus 8, 62,000. First they ask in the current assets, Lamai. So current asset is the stock and cash. 95,000 plus 152. 95 and 152, 247,000. Non-current asset, we have only the furniture and equipment, 160,000. Current liability, we have only the creditors, 62,000. Non-current liability, we have only the bank loan, 100,000. That's it. We are done with the 2018 paper also. Now let's move to the last one. The last paper, 2019. So let's read it. What is the transaction that affect the equity of a business? Receiving 7,500 from a debtor. Dear people, asset will increase. Cash asset will increase. From other side, debtor asset will decrease because Bhagat is giving me money. I'm getting money. I could reduce his balances. Paying 25,000 check. So cash is decreasing, cash asset decreasing. I'm paying credit or no? Credit is a liability. That liability is decreasing. Credit a liability. Obtaining a bank loan 50,000. So if you took a bank loan, your cash asset will increase. From other side, liability, bank loan liability increase. then automatically fourth one is going to be the answer. Next reading. Selling a stock of goods 9,000 which cost 8,000. 8,000 cost item. If you sell it for 9,000, you made a profit of 1,000. Profit will increase the equity. Fourth one is the answer. Next. Accounting equation of Shiran's business as at 1st November 2019, 2nd November 2019, after a transaction of. So what has happened to the asset? Asset has decreased by 4. Equity has decreased by 1,000. Liability has decreased by 3,000. Asset has decreased by 4,000. Equity has decreased by 1,000. Liability has decreased by 3,000. Okay. So they're asking, what can be this transaction? What can be this transaction? Paying 4,000 to a creditor subject to a discount of 1,000. So people, if you pay to a creditor, our cash asset will decrease 4,000. Discount received, no, when we are paying, discount received is an income. Income will increase the equity. Income will increase the equity. So that is out. Receiving 4,000 from a debtor subject to a discount of 1,000. So when you receive 4,000 from a debtor llama, our cash asset will decrease 4,000. Cash asset will increase 4,000. Debtor asset will decrease 4,000. But how the hell liabilities? When we get money from debtors, liability will not decrease. Liability will decrease if I settle my liability. Next one. Paying the bank installment 4,000, including the interest 1,000. When you pay bank install 4,000, cash decreases 4,000. Done. 1,000 interest expense. Interest expense will reduce the equity. Done. Out of 4,000, 1,000 interest means loan settlement only 3,000. So loan settlement has happened 3,000. That's it. Answer is the third. Next. Same thing I told no people. Just now I told few minutes back. So situation equity will change. Equity will change due to two parties. One is because of the owner, other one is because of the business. Because of the owner, additional capital is there. Drawings is there. Because of the business, income is there. Expense is there. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4 items are there. So they're asking out of these 4 items, only 2 items. If you have written any 2 items, you will get that mark. Simple as that. Now let's move to the last part of the day. With that, we are done with the past paper questions of unit number 5 to 2009, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Those 5 past papers, again, I will be doing when it's close to the exam as a revision. Following are For transactions of Sahan's business impacted the accounting equation. Further, at 1st January 2009, Sahan's business total asset was 250,000, total liability was 50,000. That means when he was starting. So when he was starting, assets were there 250,000, liabilities were there 50,000. Then you know the equity. Equity here then, and 200,000. That is when you are starting. 1st January, not 1st January, 1st October. They are asking first one, write 1 to 4. So we'll write it. They are asking, we'll write it. First one, stock has increased, but cash has not gone out. Creditor liability has increased. Creditor liability has increased. So purchase stock on credit basis. Purchased rupees 15,000 worth stock on credit basis. Second, furniture increase, cash decrease. You purchase the furniture by paying cash. That's it. Purchased rupees 25,000 worth furnitures by paying cash. On purchase 25,000 worth of furnitures and paid cash. Whatever. If the meaning is there, that's enough. So this is also simple element, same like what we did. Stock has gone out. That means you have sold. You have sold, but you have not received money. Debtor only has increased. That means it's a credit sale. It's a credit. The cash. Debtor no increase. So 10,000, but stock if you sell for 12,000. Profit is how much? 2,000. Profit will increase the rupees 10,000, but stock sold for 12,000 on credit basis import, not because we didn't receive money. Credit basis import. Rupees 10,000, but stock sold for 12,000 on credit basis. Next up. So you see here. Cash reduced. Creditors reduced. Cash reduced means I have made a payment. Creditors too. For creditors, I have made a payment. But only 9,000. Then why creditor reduced by 10,000? Because Baga has given me a discount. Baga has given me a discount. Paid rupees 9,000 to a creditor after receiving a discount of 1,000. After receiving a discount of 1,000. Done. So next what they are asking us to find the closing balances. State the basic accounting equation of business with values as at this particular day after recording the above transactions. So simple nilaman. Here take 250 plus 15, 265. Here this 25 to 25 getting cancelled. Cancelled off. So 265 plus 2, 267. 267 minus 9, 258. 258. Equity. 200,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,000. 203,000. Liability. 50,000 plus 15,000, 65,000 minus 10,000, 55,000. So 55,000 liabilities, 203,000 equity, 258,000 assets. All it is. So with that, Lamai, we are done with that.